don't let anybody on Facebook or anything convince you need to do it. You know, you got your own mind. Think about it. If you don't get killed, you're going to have a felony against you or something, and it's just not worth it. So anyway, we're going to be back in about 2.5 minutes. We got our great guest tonight, Tim Swartz. We're going to be talking about Area 51 in the past. As soon as I find out when we come back a little bit about his radio show he does. So we'll be back in a few.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
What we are asking for from the government is full disclosure. We know what we're seeing, and there are too many of us. We're not
As I gaze upon the annals of time, one thing that comes through: we are not alone in this universe. It's a thought that rings true. Ancient cave dwellers drew spacecraft on the walls. It's a recurring theme. I've seen the same thing while walking late at night, and I know it's not a dream.
From Maelstrom to Manat, Boston to LA, there are people asking questions and they will not go away. But what has been seen might not be what it seems. The government's shadows dance and deceive.
Tell the truth, they will ridicule everything you say and do. It's all part of a deception. It's a puppet master's tool. And I've seen those craft shut down up to silos from 10 miles away. And there ain't nothing that the Pentagon can do. They can't make them go away.
From Maelstrom to Manat, Boston to LA, there are people asking questions and they will not go away.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. And thank you.
You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
Well, that is me. Maybe not the best, but I definitely are on the radio. Hey, that's bumper music is Metatron Power and Light. The name of that song is Disclosure. You can actually order that. You can go on to our website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. There's several links where you can purchase that song. That song really hits tonight when we're talking about Area 51. Hey, Tim, you still here?
Yes, still with you.
Okay. So anyway, I hear you do a talk show or a radio show. Why don't you tell the listeners about it?
Yes, I'm on a webcast, as I like to call it. You know, everyone still calls them podcasts, but they've gone way beyond that at this point. With my good friend and book publisher, Timothy Green Beckley. It's called Exploring the Bizarre, and it can be heard on the KCOR Digital Radio Network, KCORradio.com. Absolutely fabulous station run by Tina Marie, who's had years and years of experience in terrestrial radio and really knows what she's doing. And gosh, how long? We've probably been doing this show for 3 years now, I think.
Oh, wow.
So got a lot of episodes archived, and so we're heard live Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time, and we have a lot of fun with our show. I mean, Tim Beckley he likes naturally to do the UFO related types of shows, and but we actually, I mean, we cover just about anything from UFOs, ghost and hauntings, Bigfoot, to ancient archaeological mysteries, say like giants and things like that. So really, something for everyone, and that's what I like about our show is that you never know each week what kind of fascinating guest or guest we're going to bring out. I would say that this is my maybe third radio show that I have been involved with over the years. The first one that I ever did was way back, like maybe early 2001. I mean, it's really kind of everything was still somewhat in its infancy there, and I used to do that in association with Mysteries magazine, which was a magazine that I was co-editor on, and unfortunately, like most other paranormal related magazines, it's long gone, and but the interest in these kind of subjects, I mean, it remains on, going on. So as you well know, there are just it seems like hundreds, thousands, of these kinds of programs right now on the internet, and really some of them are also being heard on terrestrial radio. But I would say that the majority of them are heard across the internet, and much like ours. So Exploring the Bizarre, 10 p.m. Thursday nights, KCOR.
Well, I'd recommend. I've listened to a couple of your archive shows. I really like it. We're now on. I had a major injury back a few months ago. I still can't walk. I'm getting to the point where I can stand with a walker, but I still can't really walk more than a couple steps. I was bedridden for 2 months, so my show went dead for 2 months. At that point, I had 37 radio stations. Then I dropped down to 2, and now we're back up, as of today, to 18 stations.
That's great.
But, the thing is, there's a lot of people doing what we do, but the problem is they don't know how to do it right. And that makes a difference if your show is going to make it or not. I will say this. I enjoyed it a lot when I was strictly internet, because I could say some words I can't say now, because they get bleeped out if I do those words. But, I really love this, and I really like talking a lot about UFOs and abductions. I had Timothy Cullen on, and we talked about his implant removal with Dr. Roger Lear. I have had Calvin Parker on. I've had a lot of the major people, that been either abducted or what have you with UFOs. And it's more fascinating. For a while, Tim, it was like everything was ghost hunting. And it was crazy. And then all of a sudden that kind of faded out quite a bit. And now it's all back for the past year on UFOs, and it seems to be growing.
Yeah, these kind of subjects, they seem to have like a life cycle that repeats every 5 years or so. I think it used to be it was like every 10 years when everybody had to rely, say, on books and things like that. But now with reality television and the internet broadcast shows, things can turn around a lot quicker. Like you said, not that long ago, everything was ghost hunting. And then for a while, Bigfoot and Bigfoot hunters were pretty hot. They never quite made it as big as the ghost hunting, but I think that's because you don't have as many people seeing Bigfoot as you do haunted houses or ghostly experiences. And now with the recent Navy revelations about the Navy pilots seeing and actually videotaping and other types of experiences with UFOs, we now have a new a resurgence and interest in the subject. And this time around, there seems to be a lot of good evidence that is backing up some of these military experiences. Though the stuff that we've been getting recently is kind of old. I think what the newest is probably like 2014, and that's not that long ago. But still, it's nice that we have some people coming forwards with this kind of evidence and experiences, and not afraid to talk about it, and actually some acknowledgement within the government and the military that something unusual is happening. Now, of course, nobody is willing to take any kind of leap forward with speculation, which is a good thing, because I know that there are a lot of ufologists who they're just chomping on the bit, waiting for somebody to let slip that UFOs are extraterrestrial spacecraft or anything like that. And fortunately, nobody has come forward and said anything like that yet, because as far as we know, and I can't emphasize this strongly enough, as far as we know, we have no evidence currently that UFOs are extraterrestrial spacecraft. And that is one of the things that always kind of irritates me when the word UFO becomes synonymous with extraterrestrial spacecraft, because UFO is not an extraterrestrial spacecraft. UFO is an unidentified flying object, or the new term is UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. Whether or not UFOs do represent alien spacecraft, time machines, interdimensional beings, what have you, we don't know yet. But at least there are people in authority, and I'll put quotation marks around that, coming forward and at least admitting that there is something unusual going on, and that pilots have seen these things. There have been good, say, like gun camera videos, radar hits that have been taken, and they've come forward with this. Now, for those of us who have been in this field for years and years and years, like myself and Tim Beckley, this kind of evidence has been around for a long time. But a lot of times when it does come out, it only has provoked mild interest, and then it goes away. So right now, in this age of internet and instant news and that sort of thing, this kind of evidence seems to have some stronger legs to stand on, and we'll just have to see if anything actually comes from this, or if it just kind of once again disappears down the rat hole, waiting for the next extraordinary event to occur.
Oh, yeah. I had a friend years ago, and this would be back in the 80s. You remember Republic Airlines?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were a big airline before they went bankrupt.
That's right, yeah. I remember them.
One of the vice presidents, I got to know him, and we became pretty good friends. And we were talking war stories. Found out he was a pilot during Vietnam, and he would go from Guam over to Vietnam, drop the eggs or drop the bombs, and then return. And he told me on one of his return flights, he just happened to look out his cockpit window, side window, and he saw a UFO just right off his wing.